Carson Daly, weekday mornings on LA's 97.1 AMP Radio.
Our next guest has sold millions of records with his siblings in the Jonas Brothers.
Hello, Los Angeles. It's Nick Jonas.
Nick's return to the top of the charts as a solo artist.
Please welcome the incredible, fabulous, and very talented Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas.
Angie is here. Angie, isn't that nice to have Nick Jonas stop by the AMP Radio studios?
It is
on
lovely.
this Friday morning?
Hello.
Very nice. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
I loved your tweet last night. You were just like, F it. Here's the title of my record.
Yeah. Sometimes, you make all these plans and you just got to let it happen.
I love it. Last Year Was Complicated was the tweet that followed that. That is the official title for your third solo album.
It is. So the story with this is that I was basically making the record for about a year and a half. I brought in a bunch of music to Jay-Z, who's now partners with my manager, Phil McIntyre. Mm-hmm. And I had a title picked out. It was called Unhinged. It was one of the songs on the album. Mm-hmm. And he said, listen, as I've heard the whole body of work now and gotten to know you better, he's like, I don't feel like it quite sums up the story you're telling. So let's just talk about this year of your life. What's it been like? And I said, well, last year was complicated. And he was like, that's the title.
Jay-Z said that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Jay-Z named your album pretty much,
He helped, yeah.
Nice.
He definitely helped.
Jay-Z could have said in that moment, I'm hungry for lunch.
Yeah, I'm hungry for lunch.
do you
The
want?
name of your album would be I'm
that's the
hungry
title.
for lunch. By the way, let's just stop there for a second, Nick. I've known you for a while. You've been a successful guy. I know how much music means to you. You're going to embark on this tour. You got the album coming out. Tell me a little about just kind of the relationship with Jay-Z. What a cool thing for, a young artist like yourself to have that sort of connection.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So last year I did Made in America Festival out in Philly, and already knew kind of the deal between Philly Mac, which is my manager, and his company, and Rock Nation was going to happen, but wanted to get the chance to meet Jay and the team, and he basically said, all right, today we're going to spend the day together after my set. He watched my show, and then we hung all day and talked about music and life and next steps, and since then he's been super hands-on and a really good partner and friend and mentor, and I'm thankful for it. It's definitely helpful to have someone like that in your corner.
But isn't it crazy? Like I'm spending the day with Jay-Z.
Yeah. And he knows my body of work.
Right.
Like he spent time listening to. I mean, look, it's not like Nick's at the point where he's getting songs sent to him and he's just sifting through. And you're like in charge. Your DNA is all over your music, and has been. And now Jay's got you've got his ear a little bit, which is nice. And I think it's cool. You also thanked Allen Iverson, which I thought was interesting. What's the connection there?
Yeah. Well, I
just watched that documentary on him. Have you seen that on HBO or Showtime?
I haven't watched it yet. I have it teed up.
I had no idea he went to jail before the draft. Like he almost didn't happen in the NBA.
Yeah.
I never knew that part of the story.
True.
Well, the funny thing about this is that I was working with Jason Evigan, who did Chains on the last record with me. Really talented producer. We were working on this track called Comfortable, and basically we're trying to find what the bridge would be, whether it be a feature or whatever. And we were watching SportsCenter, and they played the practice clip. I mean, the famous clip where he talks about
practice.
Yeah. And it really kind of blew my mind because I was watching it and realized this guy goes through the full cycle of feelings and emotions and thoughts on his current state of his life and career in that one little press conference clip.
Right.
So we put it in the bridge of a song. I mean, just literally took the clip and put it in, and it fit perfectly and sounds like a spoken word or something.
Right.
So Allen Iverson is featured on my album.
That's like his 16 bars is just that moment.
It's a hot 16.
It's a hot 16. That was great. And so you also give me more on the record. Last year was complicated. You're supposed to be like 2 tours that didn't happen.
Yeah.
What you thanked Big Sean, Ty Dolla $ign, AI, who you mentioned. Just give us like a nickel and dime on what we can expect June 10th when the record comes out, and then we'll play the single.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about this title and then the single Close as a whole is that it's things every human goes through in their own way, and no matter what state of your life you're in, how old you are, what you want to, we all deal with the same issues. And I think that this year my life was one that I really felt the need to document through my music and tell my stories in a really honest way and personal way. So every track is incredibly personal, and even the ones that are more on the bright side and kind of the lighter tone still have real influence from my life. So I'm anxious for people to hear the whole thing, the whole body of work. But right now, the first piece that they're hearing is the duet with Tovlo. Close, my favorite song on the record, followed closely by the song Chainsaw, which I'm anxious for people to hear.
But
But
Close is your favorite?
It's hard to say. They're all like, your kids. You can't really pick one.
I actually like my kids in order. I like some more than the others. I got to be honest.
Like the boy the most, then the girls.
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Jackson's like my close, and then Edda's like my chainsaw or whatever the other one is.
You have a third child, just a reminder.
Yeah, she's not out there.
She's new.
Close and the video are all out today. So check all those out. But this is a song basically about not being able to really get vulnerable with somebody and connect with somebody, which, it's something I think a lot of people deal with, but especially for me in this last year, being single and trying to figure all that out. So
it's fair to say we're going to play this song right now. Is this autobiographical, semi-autobiographical?
Semi, yeah. I mean, I think kept this one general enough so that the concept could connect with everybody. But as the record progresses, we start to release more singles. I think you'll get more into sort of the nitty-gritty of this year.
Nick Jonas live here on Amp Radio on a Friday morning. The record comes out on the 10th. It's called Last Year Was Complicated. Here's your first single. It's called Close.
Carson Daly. Amp Radio.
There you go. That is Close on 97.1 Amp Radio. Nick Jonas, the author, the artist. That's great stuff, Nick. I mean, let me tell you this. I took a pill in Ibiza.
Posner, Mike Posner.
I got to tell you, I think that song resonating with a lot of people because of the vulnerability in his lyrics. The way he sings that song, how he sings that song, the guts it took to write the lyrics to that song, it's relatable. And I feel a sense of that in Close. How hard was it for you to write that?
What's interesting about the whole body of work is that it was very difficult. In my little Twitter, I wouldn't call it a rant, but it's some version of that. My Twitter...
A mini Kanye?
Yeah, mini Kanye. The other night, which was just late after a drink or two, and I was like, whatever. And I just went,
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. But it's so important, to go and get deep. And I've talked to new artists that I'm working with now with the label I started with, Demi, and... Mm-hmm. The idea of the fact that you're going to play these songs for the rest of your life and career. Hopefully you're in a spot where 25 years from now, you're playing the same songs. And there are songs that I wrote when I was, younger with my brothers and whatever, that maybe are not as relevant to me now as a 23-year-old guy. So I think it's important to try to write things that will resonate with you and everybody for a long time.
Yeah, you want to get into that timeless classic place where those songs hold and stand the test of time. And
that's the goal.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Always
for 23, you're doing pretty good. By the way, how fun is it after you write those drunken tweets to wake up the next day and go through your thread? Oh God.
Well, I just looked at my team this morning. I was like, all right, did I mess up all the plans? I know we had
Did you see what I did?
They're like, no, not
no,
too
you're
much.
Okay. We're just changing the release date, the name of the album. I watched the video with you and Demi, who I love, and I know you guys are tight, and you've got the label, and you do a lot of stuff together. You're going to be touring together on the Honda. I watched the little thing that you guys put out.
Yeah.
So you're going to hit the tour. You're going to be here at the Honda Center on August 17th. You'll be at the Forum on September 17th.
Yeah.
So that you look forward to touring?
Definitely. We're very close. We've got a lot of history together, but we're in a new phase of our lives and careers. So upon the announce of the new music coming out, I think it just makes it even more exciting for me to get to go and play these new songs on stage and really create, hopefully, a really unforgettable night for the fans each night on the Future Now tour. And then, Demi has really recently been showing people who she is as a vocalist, and that Grammy performance almost brought me to tears watching it. As a friend, it was just like... To see Lionel Richie, do what he did when she sang was just pretty incredible. So I'm excited for her and our next steps together.
We're talking to Nick Jonas on Amp Radio. We'll keep it for just one more minute. Nick, tell me, you have a lot of fans who enjoy your acting. And there's a lot of praise for the Sundance Film Festival for GOAT, the Andrew Neil directed movie that you were in about hazing and fraternities and stuff like that. And that movie looks great. I mean, how will you negotiate where you're at musically with all of the acting stuff from Kingdom and even the Fox show Scream Queens? Yeah,
I mean, it's been great, to find these roles that I can kind of sink my teeth into, and then some fun stuff too, like Scream Queens. With Kingdom, we just finished our third season about a month ago, and then GOAT was kind of mind-blowing to see the reaction. I didn't quite know what people would think, because it's really a dark film, and the subject matter is incredibly important, and I think something that is a big issue within Greek culture and fraternity culture, and if we can kind of show the darker side of that and what happens when you get a bunch of young men together and masculinity becomes an issue. But after that movie at Sundance, there was a lot of really great scripts that came in, films that I want to make, and so the goal right now is to just work with the team and try to split up the time so that I can get as much time doing the music stuff as well as the acting and just keep busy,
It's funny, I hear artists get asked all the time by idiots like me, like, so if it's going to come down to music or movies, what's it going to be?
Right.
9 times out of 10, the truth is the person they're talking to, they don't really legitimately have a shot at both. I can say this with real authenticity, that you actually do. Look, that's the truth. That's the truth.
That's funny.
You actually do. It's possible that you actually could have a very, very viable career in both. You already do, certainly in music, and your acting is just like right there. You get to ask that to Justin Timberlake. There's not many where that question really resonates as a good question. In this case, it does.
Yeah.
So what will it be? If there is a choice?
Hopefully an even balance of both. The details of it are what's tough. Is that it takes at least a month and a half or 2 months to make a film,
right?
And you can do a tour in that time. You can make a record in that time. So it's basically just about knowing how to split up the schedule.
Right.
But right now, I'm dedicating a lot of this year to the music because the first couple months of the year were the acting stuff. So. It's like you said with your kids, like you have to pick favorites at a certain point.
He's got time for both babies, is what he's got.
You're not supposed to say it on the radio, but internally, you have to set up your schedule and you have to pick favorites.
Yeah.
Nick, we're super happy for you, man. Thanks for making time. June 10th last year was complicated. The name of the record, thanks in part to our friend Jay-Z. Nick Jonas, all the best to you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Carson Daly. For more, go to ampradio.com.